So, Owl House fandom, we gotta talk. Yeah, we got something to discuss real quick, and oh boy. So for those who are not in the know, the Owl House fandom has kind of taken an interesting shift, as I've noticed on several of their social media groups. They've taken a shift, and maybe some of you already know where I'm going with this. Yeah, there's been some interesting ships. Now, the Death Star that is Lumity is still riding high in the fandom. But for those who are unaware, two new ships have been growing, and I have some problems with them. So, yeah, let's talk about the first one. So the first one I think is more of a joke, and no one really takes it seriously, so I'm not gonna, and keep in mind, I'm not trying to bash ships or whatever, but I'm kind of noticing there's some unhealthy ones, especially with the second one. So the first one is Edric and Ida. Yeah, Edric and Ida, you know. So Edric and Ida is a ship that has... And people fully... I will give it this, is that at least the fandom knows it's a joke. Like, they know it's a full-on joke, and they're aware of that this is a full-on, straight-up joke. No one takes it seriously. So that's why I'm not going to hate on it too much. But, like, at the same time, it's kind of creepy. Like, we can all agree that this is some creepy shit, right? Like, this is, like, some for-real creepy shit that just doesn't seem... Or, like, it's Ida. She's over 30, and Edric's barely 16? Right? Yeah, so I'm just kind of waiting for, like, Chris Hansen to walk into the Owl House and being like, "Hi, Chris Hansen, would you like to take a seat?" Yeah. But I mean, like, in a weird way, like, again, I fully acknowledge that this is a joke among the fandom, because the joke is, like, there's no like, hetero pairings, so one guy went, Ida and Edric, and everyone went, sure, whatever, let us keep Lumity, though. So, I'm not gonna hark on this one too long, but I will say that, like, in a weird way, I get it, because Ida seems like the person who would want to date younger, who would want to date, like, not, like, 16 or whatever, but, like, she would definitely go for, like, an 18-year-old. She would legit go for, like, an 18-year-old. Like, she seems like that person who would, you know, get with younger men. You know, she's over 30. She's still pretty hot. So she's probably had some people at least 18 years, some guys at least 18 years old in her bed. I'm just, like, we can all agree that Ida has been, you know, prowling around. She's been milfing it up around Bonesboro. We can all agree that, right? But no, however, I will say that this joke pairing better lead to something, and I'll explain right now. This pairing better lead to an animatic of Ida and Edric with the song "Does Your Mother Know" by ABBA. If that does not happen at any point in the Owl House fandom, I will be legitimately disappointed. That's so perfect! Like, having that song with Ida and Edric, like, Ida's tempting him and all throughout the song. Yeah, that's a perfect animatic. Animators, fandom, I give you that. That's for you. Like, fully acknowledge that this is a joke pairing. Fully acknowledge that this is a straight-on joke pairing, please. So there you go. Anywho, let's move on to the one I have the bigger issue about. And the bigger issue is, and this one's getting a little more... this one's getting a big push because people are taking it seriously. I've been noticing this growth, and I fully am like, this doesn't seem right. And keep in mind, I'm not trying to bash ships, but, like, at the same time, I'm like, yeah, this is not healthy. This is not healthy in any way. And that is the growing ship that is Willow and Basha. You know, Willow, the person who's getting bullied by Basha, humiliated, like, psychologically scarred by this three-eyed girl. Yeah, that Basha is essentially psychologically tormenting her, and people are like, oh no, she can change, she can go from a bull. I'm like, no, the whole point of Basha is that she's a mean girl. And did you see what she did to Willow in Wing It Like Witches? Like, seriously, that's not okay. Like, and I understand, like, you know, people are going to bring up the argument, what about Amity? Amity is a better character for that because she quickly learned, hey, I was a total bitch, so maybe I should lay off because I have these, these walls. Even Willow said, we're not friends yet, but we're gonna get there. Like, maybe we'll get there. So even Willow says, yeah, you're not fully forgiven, but it's a start, and as long as you treat Luz right, that's fine. But Basha, it's different. Basha doesn't even try to do that. Basha is, fully aware that she is completely cruel to Willow and Gus and Luz. And that's really, that's not how a relationship works, That's, the whole, oh, they pull your hair and whatnot, that must mean they love you. No, that just means they're psychotic and means that they want to control you. That mentality of bullying equals love needs to stop. It needs to you need to pump the brakes on it because that is not how love works. That is psychologically damaging. So, I gotta put my foot down. I do not support the Willow-Basha relationship because it is so fucking damaging. Amity, I give the pass because Amity acknowledges she was a total bitch and is still working on herself. She fully acknowledges, and she's trying to make herself better. She's not going to this, and it's very clear she never went to the same levels as Basha did to Willow. She just taunted and mocked Willow. And even Willow, again, acknowledges, that was a shit move, Amity, and I'm still not fully ready to forgive you yet. So yeah, Amity is still growing as a person because of that. Amity is still learning that. But Basha, it's very clear, she's done worse to Willow. She has done, and we've seen she's done worse to Willow. But no, people think, oh, they're enemies to lovers routine, just like Amity and Luz. It's not Amity and Luz. You guys got to stop that. Because that is not okay. That is literally, this is psychologically damaging. That whole trope of enemies to lovers, it works for Luz and Amity because again, Amity realized that what she was doing was wrong and is trying to break it down. But it's very clear that Basha knows what she's doing and does not care. So she's gonna keep doing that, and it also, this whole ship, and I fully acknowledge, this is not a canon ship, but it's breeding in there, and someone's gotta bring up the red flags, and it might as well be me. So, that's the thing, is that it's the whole enemies to lovers thing, it hardly, it's working right now for Luz and Amity, but, that's not, that whole enemies to lovers trope, Basha and Willow is the same reason I don't like Kylo Ren and Rey together. It's basically bootlicking the whole, you're bootlicking the bully, the abuser. And that idea and that mentality needs to be cut down. It needs to stop. There is no other way I can say this other than that is not okay. It's the same reason of why I'm very bothered, and I'm very bothered by, in the Has-Been Hotel fandom, of having Alistair shipped with Charlie. When Charlie is clearly happy in a relationship with Vaggie, but yet you want to ship her with Alistair, who is confirmed asexual, and is clearly just a bastard of a human being. He's clearly up to no good. But no, you're like, oh, Charlie can change him if she just got in bed with him. What? What? I'm sorry, what? Are y'all just thirsty for shipping wars? Is that how these insane ships play out? Is that y'all just thirsty to start a fight over shipping? Because now Avatar's over, but now we're sparking those again with thanks to Netflix. That's why, people are fighting. There are shipping wars in the Ladybug fandom over which is better, over the shipping square that is Marinette and Adrian. And, people get into fights over which is better. I'm like, y'all, it's the same fucking people! Do y'all just want to start... do you guys just like starting shit on message boards just because you're bored? Or do you just not think these things through? Again, Why? I have a major problem with Raylo shippers, and the Willow and Basha shippers are literally making me remember everything that is wrong with Raylo. So this gotta stop, guys. Again, I fully acknowledge that the Ida-Edric relationship is a joke because everyone else does, but like, y'all, stop with the Willow and Basha ships. It's really damaging. It's really not healthy. So, I don't want to sound like a dick or anything, but this isn't right. This doesn't feel right. Anyway, so yep, there is my my little rant. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this? I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.